my goal, my resume coming out of turf school was to work at a high-end resort in a ski town. And this job came up, and I actually applied for this job like about 3 years before I got it. And I got a letter back from the previous several GMs ago that said I wasn't qualified. And I was like, okay, and I kind of put that in my back of my head, and I was always someone that was motivated by someone that told me I can't, as opposed to what I could do. And when it came open again, I had a little more, just, fuzz on my resume, whatever the right term is, and I got an interview, and I met Jeff Halbrin in Boise, and we hit it off, and came over here, and we toured the golf course in the Snowcat, and I hadn't seen the golf course, but I had the general lay of the golf course. And then it melted, and Jeff called me, he said, hey, the golf course is dead. And I went, what do you mean dead? And he goes, well, I didn't go to turf school, but it looks dead to me. And so my first day on the job was April 1st,
That's April Fool's Day, right?
Yes, it was. It was April 1st, 2001. And it was the first time I saw the golf course. And Jeff was right. The golf course was dead. And I was like, wow. Okay. And the good thing about that is there's really only one way to go.
Yeah, right.
You can't screw up dead. And I really, the thing that I really loved working at the Coeur d'Alene Resort, and I talked to this with a few people already, was the owner gave you every tool that you needed to do the job. And, he would say, I want this, and you'd say, okay, but it's going to cost you that. And he'd say, okay. And when I got here, I never thought I'd have that same opportunity to have sort of this, this resolve to get a great golf course. And it wasn't as quick as it was at the resort, but it was also, they trusted me to say, I got to have a new irrigation system, and we figured out how to pay for it. We got to have new bunkers, we figured out how to pay for it. And the support that we had was just amazing. And then to have the family support was just incredible. It was just, to be able to bring my kids to the golf course was just a dream come true. Just this morning, or this afternoon, we were out there driving around, checking out the back nine and everything. And Luke and Sydney said, we got to go check out the valve boxes behind number 3. And the reason that we had to go check out the valve boxes behind number 3 was there was always salamanders in the valve boxes, which, as a superintendent, Mark will tell you this, is a great sign of the ecosystem that you've created on the golf course, and it's an indicator species, which means you're doing a lot of things right. So
what is an indicator species? That doesn't sound good.
It tells you that you're doing a lot of things.
Oh, is it good?
Not feces.
It doesn't sound good. Is it good?
It's like the canary in the coal mine.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's a good
environmentally,
description.
Which
Okay,
always
good.
was, as a superintendent, is always in your, at least in my head, was always like, what's great for the golf course, but what's also good for the environment. So we go to these valve boxes today, and the very first valve box we look in, there's 3 salamanders.
Really?
Oh.
And it's sort of like this big continual circle and everything that, when we got here, there weren't any salamanders there. Well, those valve boxes weren't there because we got an irrigation system. But, from the time Luke and Sid were little to the time that they're now, 22 and 19 years old, and there's still salamanders there, it tells me that we've done a pretty good job. And, I take a lot of pride in the golf course isn't dead. Mark and I have joked about, he doesn't have that same luxury of the golf course was dead when he got here. He walked into, what arguably is a very well-maintained golf course, and also in the middle of a construction project, and for that I apologize. I feel really bad that we left when we did. It really, I wouldn't say broke my heart, but when we got to 14, And I purposely haven't been out on the golf course this spring because I just didn't know if I could handle it. And we got to 14 and I saw all the changes and I started tearing up. And I saw 15 green and reflection and everything. And, you know, it'll be a lot easier to not cut the weed whip. But it really is just a compliment to the membership and the ownership and everything that, you know, if you're not growing, you're dying, and we're still growing and everything. And so from the golf side, I'm really proud of where we were, and certainly from the GM side, I don't miss it. You know,
I'm glad Todd left.
he asked me if I changed my mind. That's the first thing he said. Did you change your mind? You know, and I, as we've talked about at the executive committee level, you know, I never wanted that job. I took it because I felt like I could continue the culture that Clark and everybody developed. And I knew I didn't have the skill set to do it, but I had the personnel skills, I believe, and I knew all the people involved, and I could take this love of the club and love of the membership and love of the staff and do my best, and that's what I did. And I'm really proud of that too. I mean, you know, we got here and when I took over, I think we were circling the drain, and now I feel like we're really, you know, got an opportunity to tell Three Creeks and Shooting Star to kiss my you know what. I think it's really, really cool, and again, it goes back to the ownership to be able to support everything and have the vision and share the vision that we've all had, and you know, John and Mike and Jim, you know, I mean, I can't think of better friends and mentors, and you know, I mean, I've told you guys in emails and stuff, you guys are my heroes, and I mean that in every sense of the word. You know, to be mentored by my heroes and industry giants and people I respect, and it's just been a dream come true. And, you know, to take my family in like they have and support us, and you know, just support me and believe in me. I mean, I look in the mirror and I go, what the hell do they think? Why do they care what I think? And I still can't believe it. I mean, why anybody would care what this, you know, country bumpkin redneck from Tetonia, Idaho, really has to say is beyond me. But I do appreciate the trust and the love and the friendship, and I'm going to miss everything about this place. It's just been the best career that anybody could ask for, and I'm just grateful that I got to do it with you all. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.